All right, let's see if this works. Let's see how this is work. I'll wait for everybody to kind of trickle in here for a minute. Had some technical difficulties, but that's okay. We're going to get it rolling right now. And hopefully everybody can see me okay. Hey, Phoenix. How's the lag? Is this better now, right now? Is this better than what I had before? Hey, Tim, what's going on, man? Okay, awesome. Good. I'm so glad. Now we'll see. The only thing is I got to see if I can, if I have as much kung fu with this new system as the old one. Okay, awesome. Is it no lag? It's better? Okay, perfect. That's great. I'll be honest with you, because the internet was going nuts today. My Wi-Fi, the service was going crazy today. Things were slow, jumpy. So I think one system I was using wasn't going. Appreciate you guys coming back over. Great to have you. So let's do this. We're going to have some fun tonight. It's going to be a good one. For sure. Exactly. I'm a one-man band over here right now. Perfect. That's great. That's great. So the next step is, now I got to see, can I actually do all the stuff that I want to do with this different software? We're going to figure it out, though. We're going to get it going, figure it out in stride. I'm sure I can make it happen. Kind of, sort of. Pretty sure I can make it happen. But how you guys doing out there tonight? Checking in with everyone. I'll wait a couple minutes just to make sure we can get everybody. So I am going to see. Wait a couple seconds here for everyone to come in. Everyone's doing all right? Good to go. So like I was saying, okay, good. Really sounds like we have everybody coming back. Sounds great. Good. Okay, so again, if things get a little jumpy right now, there's a little couple of tech challenges, but we will figure it out. It's good to have you guys all here. And so we're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight, okay? As I was saying, welcome to Chaos Week. Chaos, we have more chaos right now. I hope the South Park clips are going to be okay. We're going to see. We're going to see if I can get it going, okay? Like I said, this is the only show where, headlines do the CrossFits and your cortisol is paying the membership dues. And right now mine is as well, because I'm trying to figure this stuff out, and I'm not the best with the technology as it is, everybody, but, so we have to add more friction, which is what I don't need, but figuring it out, we'll do it all together. Okay. And that's how we're going to make it happen. Again, I think it's important we have some laughs first. We make the decision second. And, like I was saying before, as the government shutdown happens, right, we have a scoreboard that's off more or less. And so what do you do as a leader? So, the best leaders, you keep on going anyway, right? You shorten your planning horizon, you protect your cash, and you tighten the communication gaps and make sure that, you're adjusting to the situation. I know there are a lot of jobs on the line right now, a lot of issues that are happening out there, and chaos is the only guarantee, 100%. So good to have all you guys. And it's, it's absolutely just crazy, but we got to have a playbook for this thing. And so we're going to talk about a playbook tonight. If I can't show all my videos tonight for one reason or another, I'm going to go ahead and talk you guys through the stories, and I'm a good storyteller, so I'll paint a very vivid picture. You can spend some good quality time just with me for a while, okay? And, we've got such craziness happening right now. I don't even know where to begin, but luckily I took a few notes, so I'll try to start somewhere well. But, Congress is trying to pass a budget. I see the way this goes. It's almost like, me, you, anybody saying they're going to start like the paleo diet or the keto diet. And the first thing they do is they're experimenting with a burger, before they go right back into splurging and messing it up and and falling off the wagon. So it's just absolutely crazy what I see out there. I could say too, it's like someone saying they're going to try dry January right before they order the shots. It just doesn't work, And so what do? When everything's on the line, they shut it all down, and it's just adding more friction. Obviously, people are working without pay right now. It's not good. Seems like the only machine that's working well in DC right now and working overtime is the coffee machine, and it is going to want back pay for sure after all this. Yeah, I hear you, Phoenix. I hear you there, 100%. And remember, uncertainty taxes businesses, small businesses, people first, okay? You don't run on tweets. You don't run on, the news cycle. We have to run on receipts, response times, and getting things done, getting repeat customers, getting work, right? Which all of which lately has been a bit uncertain, okay? There are definitely some high points as well too, some good points to talk about, but I want to talk about the things that are confronting each and every one of us in the beginning so we can form a strategy on how to deal with it. That's what we're all about here. Again, the point of this whole podcast and this whole show is in an effort to upgrade your life, right? And if the scoreboard stays stark, we're going to run shorter sprints. We're going to, track fewer and better metrics, and we're going to just try to get one thing better this week, improvement for this week. And that's what you try to do. Like, for example, when the YouTube Live isn't working for you, what do? You try to get it done no matter what. The show must go on, and you got to figure out a way to do it, okay? So, good thing, positive thing, we got a ceasefire right now. We have a phase 1 ceasefire. I love phase 1. That's good because phase 1 is the save humanity, save humanity button, okay? But then there has to be the phase 2. And phase 2 is, actually the ratification, implementation. In phase 3, we're forgetting about what about the logistics? How's this going to get done? Who's going to do it? Who's going to enforce when the timeline isn't being met, when the deadline's not being met? Who's going to do that? Okay? And unfortunately, phase 4, like any good long series of movies, is going to be not the best one, usually, right? And unfortunately, probably is going to be the recommencement of hostilities. I hope not. But, anyway. There is some hope, though. There definitely is some hope. So, basically, if diplomacy right now is a software, we're downloading the piece, but, you're going to have to restart civilization to make it work, right? If history is any teacher, we don't know. We're going to see how this goes. But it's a good sign. It's a good sign. We're going to take a look at a little bit of that as well, too, if I can get some of these videos to play. If not, we will talk through it. And you can have some audio. We'll listen to some sound. The big thing is this: ceremony doesn't keep people safe. Implementation does, okay? Verification, sequencing, all those things like that. Clear roles and a plan for when the deadline slips, right? What do you do then? Who's going to enforce it? This is all very important stuff. Yeah, watching the bills without alcohol is that's a hard one right there. But we got to make it happen. And then having the burger without a bun, that too, as well. Over in logistics land, as we're talking about it, gasoline is the main character again, the diva of geopolitics. The second you need it, it's in the trailer demanding a new contract, right? A private generator and a bowl of green M&Ms. So if, obviously this is something that's happening it's a huge bottleneck with Ukraine and Russia right now. And, but that is really what is demanding a lot of attention. Ukraine knows it, and they're taking it to Russia by going after their refineries and doing all these things like that. We're going to take a look at that as well too. Okay. More or less, if if this were an influencer, it would be the prime influencer, the most famous one, the gasoline and oil. I don't know. That joke wasn't the best one. But bottlenecks decide campaigns. And that's what Ukraine's trying to do. They're trying to cause a bottleneck with the gasoline and the oil. Okay. And we're going to map your pipeline tonight. We're going to talk about what are the things that are your personal pipeline, how you get things done, okay? For example, like in business, leads, lead to conversations, lead to offers, lead to sales, lead to delivery, lead to proof and social proof, okay? Which creates a durable business. And, as an individual, you have to look at what are the tactical actions you take every day that get things done. And what are the choke points? Where are the choke points? Where are the holdbacks that are holding you back from getting things done as well too? Okay, and so we want to identify at least one choke point in your life personally or in your business before we go to bed tonight and figure that out, because it's going to be very, very important, okay? And I got to talk about it, but whoever pitched turning the cities into training grounds, right? We see that. But thank you for finally giving all the orange cones a real purpose, and nothing like having a live fire lane in between your ride to the gym and Starbucks. So that is looks like it's coming to a city near you very soon. Interesting, beyond interesting, kind of crazy. But we'll see. We'll see if it actually happens or not. Things seem like it's being held up a little bit. But yeah, really, it's things are getting more interesting. And as I understand the Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times, right? So we're breaching the door. Please, get cover and concealment before going into the gym, before we blow this door in. So, the headlines are doing burpees, and your sanity is basically spotting them. And don't worry, we've got a stopwatch, a coach. We got a mop to mop it all up. We're going to take care of business. We're going to make sure that you're ready to rock and roll, and we're going to do this, okay? So let's talk about Ukraine and these refineries. I'm going to see if I can pull up one of these videos right now on this other system. Who needs the bun? Exactly. I got to do it. Lisa, I got to get on that. We cut out the bun, cut out the carbs. It's very important. But Ukraine has been pushing the long-range strikes against Russia, okay? They're hitting their refineries, hitting their fuel infrastructure, because the fuel leads to logistics, right? And logistics wins wars. So this isn't just spectacle. They're actually really putting pressure on supply, okay? They're forcing these big workarounds and stretching response times, the response capacity and capability of Russia by doing these strikes. So I'm going to see if I can pull up one of these videos really fast. Again, guys, I'm having a little bit of some challenges here, but we're going to see if we can do it. Okay, really quick. In the meantime, I'm going to talk to my producer, Mr. ChatGPT, and see what they can come up with, okay, on how to pull this up in this new software. So, but put any questions you have in the chat really quickly, and I can jump into that. But what matters most is that the energy shocks will ripple, okay? And the big leadership lesson is really this, that when you hit the bottleneck, the big problems, get really smaller, okay? So you have to deal with the bottleneck first. So, when Russia has its eyes on trying to deal the big blow to Ukraine, but they can't, but there's nothing they can do because they're running out of fuel, because Ukraine knows exactly what to hit, the strike that's going to make the most difference. And that's what they're doing with these bottleneck attacks with the drones, okay? And so that's one of the major things right now, and I've got a good video on this. I want to see if I can pull it up really quickly. Just give me a second, guys, here. And we'll get this going. Okay, here we go. I think I've figured it out. Bear with me for 1 second, guys. It's in an effort to bring some better video to everyone. That is what I'm doing. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Let's see if this works. I don't know. I know right now it's probably gone dark a little bit, but just bear with me. We're going to fix it. We're having a tutorial tonight. This is, as La Diamond Dog says, this is the bloopers time. This is time for the bloopers. Okay. All right. I'm back right now. We're going to see 1 second if I can get this thing going. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right, guys, I apologize. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, throw it into the chat right now as I deal with this technical issue, because the other system dropped on me and was not working. Well, we're going to make this one work. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. One more time. Bear with me, guys. I will figure it out. Okay. All right. That was not happening. that one was not working. All right, guys. So I'll talk us through some of these things, and then we're going to get right into probably talking strategy and, keep it a little bit. We're going to have to keep it light on the videos for tonight. I apologize for that. But we will make the most of this one for sure, okay? Because this one is a little bit challenged right now, more than a little bit. But we will get it going, okay? I appreciate you guys being here, though. Everyone can hear me, which is a good thing. And we got seems like we're in sync. In sync as far as the audio visual. But, yeah, this is a little bit of a, we're having some tech difficulties right now on this. All right. So, again, the big thing is that, when Ukraine hits these fuel sites, okay, you're choking off the logistics of the Russian war machine, and it becomes virtually impossible for them to do things. So again, as we talk about bottlenecks in your own life, in your own plan, this is the kind of the lead in for that about what's happening in your own life as well too. Whenever you have friction points, you have bottlenecks, then you have to be able to deal with these things. And if you can't, then it's then it's going to be something that's going to hold you back significantly. It's going to, you have to be able to deal with it. So that's why we're talking about dealing with the bottlenecks as well too. Okay. I'm going to see one more time if I can get this thing working. Okay. For some reason, it is not happening. All right, so we're going to carry on here. We're going to keep on going. All right. And so what I want to talk to you guys about as well, too, is let's jump right into our strategy and our discussion on that, okay? So probably one of the most important things to realize with overall strategy, okay, for what we're encountering right now, the uncertainty that we're encountering, okay, is I want you guys to think about a 7-day leadership survival plan, okay? And this is the rubber meets the road playbook for how we deal with the uncertainty, the issues, things like that we're dealing with, all right? Number one, okay, your new non-negotiable is leadership communication. You've got to make sure that every interaction you have builds or burns credibility. You got to make sure you understand that because everything you do is going to burn or build credibility, okay? And that means every interaction, you have to be intentional. You need to, make sure that you understand, like I always talk about, the 4 Ps. Understand your purpose for the communication. What are you doing when you go into the communication? Why are you there? What is the reason for the communication? What are you trying to get done? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, the video was expected to be like that, Nick, just because I was trying to load in another source for the video. And, but we will figure that out. And so talking about that too, for the leadership strategy, understanding what you're trying to do with every interaction. Okay. What is your purpose for the interaction? What is the intention? Okay. What is your posture during the interaction? And understanding that as you go into this week, you want to have a clear mission for what you're trying to get across for the people that can, influence the things you're trying to get done the most, right? And so that's a big thing. And we were gonna lead up into that with a lot of other videos and things like that, but really going right into the strategy right now until I can solve this little tech issue. I think that's just going to be a useful discussion. And put any questions you guys have in the chat, and we can turn this also into a Q&A where we can just talk for a little bit as well too. Okay, so and we can recock this one for another time. If I can't get this up, let me just see here. But put whatever questions you guys have in the chat, and as I'm trying to figure this out, I will get into your questions as well too. It's a good second for us. Take a good minute, and we can front load the Q&A up front here while I deal with this. You guys get to see some live troubleshooting. Not that you want to, but this is what we got going on. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. Okay. All right, maybe it's this. All right, almost figuring it out. Bear with me, guys. We're going to get this thing rolling, but put any questions you guys have in there. Hey, Jasmine, how you doing? Almost figuring this out. Okay, see something's coming up. There we go. Progress is being made. We're going to get this going. We're going to fix this. Uh-huh. Okay. Let's see here. All right. You guys see a full picture? Should be coming. Let's see. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. This one's awesome. This is a little bit challenging. Not gonna lie to you. I had had the other. Let me see though if we can get the other one going. But put any questions you guys have in the chat right now, okay? Let's see this. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Tim. Yeah, I know. Hey, speaking of which, did you guys hear that California just passed all these AI laws? Did you guys see that? All these AI laws have been passed in California. Absolutely insane. Yeah. They're saying that, basically saying that, you know, they won't let anyone imitate the actors. They can't make AI mock-ups of the actors because I think it's a real thing. They're just, you know, using these AI engines and they're imitating the actors. They're just, you know, creating, okay, the star doesn't want to play. They want too much money. Watch this. So I guess, you know, they just came out with a bunch of laws in California dealing with that. I appreciate it, Phoenix. Yeah. Does the military get paid still if the government gets shut down? It does. It's one of the last things that will go. But I do know, like, people like the FBI and Secret Service, I think it's after 14 days of shutdown, they actually start to feel it. So it's been 1 week, but I know from when I was, you know, in the military and then when I worked in the interagency as an attaché in the U.S. Embassy, I was working in an embassy in the country team. You know, we had a shutdown, and everybody there told me that after so many days, this is a real thing. So many days that they would actually lose their pay, and usually they will give them back pay, but you know, it's not you didn't miss anything, Jasmine. You missed me messing up all the technology. I had a tech dropout of my other software that I usually run this live from, and it was lagging too much. So we switched over to a different setup, which is a little more challenging to do these scenes, but I was going to see, let's see. You just add a browser source. Browser source lets you display a web page. Okay. All right. I thought I did that. But I don't know. I don't understand what's happening right now. So you guys are stuck with me and some slapstick comedy and discussion for tonight. Let's talk about. So we're going to talk about a couple of these things, though. So we're talking about Ukraine. We're talking a little about Gaza, peace plan, right? That's a good thing. It's a bright point. Ukraine is taking it to Russia with the gas, oil, choke points. But let's talk a little bit about as well. I got a couple little uplifting things to talk about. Did you guys see? Yeah, it is. It is revolting tonight, but screw that technology. We don't need it. We don't need no stinking badges. We don't need no stinking badges tonight, okay? Did you guys see Alex Pereira won back the MMA title from, I can't even say his name, Mogologodon something, right? Alex Pereira, who's the crazy, Brazilian tribal dude, paints his face red, doesn't really talk, won't speak English. Bad to the bone. Went in there and knocked him out. So, but what I learned about him, and I want to share with you guys tonight in our kind of our leader segment, okay? But I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell stories instead. I'm going to tell stories. I'm jumping ahead from the bad news of, Gaza, that's a good news with the peace. But like I said, from what I understand, I'll cover the Gaza Hamas thing, and I'll cover the Ukraine a little bit more in a minute. But Alex Pereira, let's talk about him. He won back the light heavyweight championship. And what's amazing about that is that, first of all, he lost it, okay, because he was in a broken hand and then he was sick and he still went in the fight anyway and ended up losing, okay? Because these guys are all, don't worry, Jasmine, you didn't miss much except me fumbling around with stuff here. But we're going to have fun no matter what, because now it's just me unscripted and unhinged and going nuts. So let's talk about this. Alex Pereira loses the light heavyweight championship to this dude. The dude is trained by Khabib, that whole Kazakhstan group that's really formidable, right? And so Alex Pereira, those coming out of Brazil, Sao Paulo, and, he's like this guy who comes on the weigh-ins with a red face and like the headdress and all this stuff like that. And, he's like 6'4", 205, and doesn't talk, okay? He goes in there and he knocks the crap out of this guy in this comeback title match, revenge match. Knocks him out in like 25 seconds, okay? Whereas before it was a big deal because he lost. I guess he hadn't lost before that. But he came back, reclaimed his title. So then, okay, I look into him a little more. Who is this guy? What's he all about? Come to find out, really tough story. And this is the uplifting portion of tonight that I want to talk to you guys about, okay? Because I want to deliver some value tonight. Videos, no videos. The videos are they're fun to have. I'll tell you funny South Park stories later. Don't worry. I'll tell you funny news stories as well. I'll try to remember the things. I can remember one of them already. Oh my God. It's an SNL skit. So I'll just say, you guys have to deal with me. I'll play all parts tonight. I'll play all parts of the South Park. I'll play all the SNL character parts. And we're going to do this, man. We're going to do this. It's no stopping. Here we go. So, yeah, I want to hear it for sure, Jasmine. I want to hear the hilarious joke. So, check it out. So, here's what happens. This guy, he is basically lives in the poorest place in Brazil, has nothing, okay? And even like you want to think like he grew up in the mean streets, so he became a really, tough fighter because of that. No, he definitely learned to fight. He had to fight in the streets when he was young. They had nothing, super poor. Starts working in a tire shop when he's 12. Starts becoming an alcoholic by like when he's like 12 and a half. Okay. He's drunk all out of his mind. Okay. Okay. We'll see you, Phoenix. And so, yeah, I definitely have to check that out. But so what happens is that, Alex Pereira, he grows up, he's in this tire shop, okay? He's in this tire shop, becomes an alcoholic when he's like 12 and a half. No kidding. And so during this time, he's a total mess. He's best friends with his brother, loses his brother to drugs, and, he's falling apart. He learns to start doing kickboxing and all these things like that, basically to save his life, okay? And his coach discovers him, and he's like, at this time, he was very weak. He's very weak. He's physically weak from all the alcoholism and all the, he just wasn't well fed. He wasn't this, wasn't that. He was an alcoholic. But he said, one thing I saw about him, he said, was that I punched him in the stomach once. This is his coach, you can imagine, right? Punches him in the stomach. And so dude punches him in the stomach. He goes down, and he said, and I saw the tears in his eyes. And he got back up, and he had the fight in him. And I knew then there was something special. He said, and then I discovered that he came from this, indigenous tribe that I was from. And so they started doing all these tribal rituals and all this stuff like that. And so this guy's like legendary, builds him up, total Rocky story, literally alcoholic, skinny, not that tough. I mean, he became let's be honest, he became a really good kickboxer, even when he wasn't alcoholic and all stuff like that. But when he got to like the better ranks where the actual real fighters were, he just got demolished. And so next thing you know, he overcomes all this, overcomes alcoholism, and becomes the UFC champion, right? I'm cutting into a nutshell, but he goes through all these shamanistic rituals. He does all this meditation, all these things to get himself right. He doesn't interact really in the social media. Everyone says what a kind, good guy he is. Still keeps in contact with his roots, And so, and so it's a great uplifting story. But the whole point is this, is that no matter what you come from, where you're starting from, you can overcome it. Okay? If you saw where this guy came from, right? I'm going to tell you, this really was the mean streets. This was really like third world poverty level rough. Okay? To become, if you leave it playing, well, and that helps. Sure it does. Let it float. Thanks, Phoenix. Appreciate you doing that. And so, but that's the point, is that you can overcome whatever it is you're going through. And this guy, he lost his brother from drugs. They had nothing, so poor. Okay. Sure. Did he have some genetic gifts? I'm sure he did. 6'4", obviously a very good athlete once he trained, but he wasn't so great. Drugs, alcohol, lifestyle can defeat even the greatest talents you're given. The greatest genetic talents can be defeated by all that crap. And so this dude, check him out. Alex Pereira sometime. Check him out. See his story. It's pretty amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. You got to check him out. You got to check him out for sure. He's definitely really amazing. And so, which is really the uplifting leadership segment and the profile that I wanted to cover. And then, again, looking at ourselves and our own strategy, where are the places right now that you need to overcome? Where are the places in your own life right now that you need to take a look at and say, okay, here's the world champion, all right, came from nothing, was a full-out alcoholic at 12, didn't stop being an alcoholic until 24. So think about that, 12 years, like no kidding, drinking so much every day until he was like blacked out, okay? How he didn't die, I don't know, probably because he was young. But you need to think to yourself, what are the things that you can do? What can you do to improve your own life? What are the things you need to overcome? What are the challenges you need to overcome? Okay? Because it makes a difference. Your mindset makes a difference. The things you focus on to try to overcome makes a huge difference. And like I was talking about with leadership communication, if sometimes your leadership, your communication can be the thing you have to overcome because maybe you don't task other people properly. Maybe you don't set your clear vision properly. Maybe you don't know what the hell you're doing tomorrow. Maybe you don't have a clear plan for tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. I know exactly what I'm doing tomorrow. Okay? I'm going to figure out how the hell to work this software better. Number one. Okay? But you want to look at what is the problem? What is the path to solve it? And you need to do the hard things. You need to do the things that are going to heal you. They're going to cleanse you. They're going to make you feel better, make you get better. Okay? Because if you don't do those things, you're going to be stuck in the same old loop. The same old loop, the same old loop always. Okay? That's how it's going to be. So, and don't waste any opportunity for self-improvement, even when it hurts. Okay? Even when the moment is there when you're going to have to take some hard talk to yourself, some criticism, some coaching, things like that, okay? That's going to be, it's very, very important. So I think that's one of the important takeaways I had from Alex Pereira. But watching him do the comeback, watching where he came from, knowing that his best friend was a brother, died from drug overdose, and I think, violence in the streets, stuff like that, in Sao Paulo when he was 15. And he's basically on his own working at a tire shop, right? And the tire shop owner still remembers him. He still goes back there to kind of keep in touch with his roots. So, really compelling story. And so I want you to think about, though, first of all, where have you been feeling sorry for yourself? We all do it. We all get in those points where we're like, I feel sorry for myself. This is too hard. This isn't good. I don't know who else has it this hard, and I'm pushing on my pain. I'm staring at my pain, focusing on my pain the whole time instead of focusing on the solution. Okay? Where do you have to focus on the solution to make things better? This is absolutely critical. It's so, so important that you figure out how you can get better, how you can make it better. What sacrifices do you have to make? What do you have to do what's the one thing that's going to change everything? You know what it is. I don't know what it is. No one else is going to know what it is but you. Okay? And guys, put your questions, comments Put your questions, comments in the chat, okay? And we're going to free flow this one a little bit tonight. All right? We're going to free flow it. But that's the thing. Is that because at the end of the day, the whole point of this podcast, the whole point of this channel is to upgrade your life. And so, I could talk with you guys for 6 hours. And it's not if I just freeform this thing, okay, what we're going to do tonight. But I want you to take a page out of Alex Pereira's book and look at the comeback of him coming back. I remember Mike Tyson one time talking about the humiliation of losing on national TV in front of the world, losing in a fight, and then the disrespect and the disses and all the stuff that happens afterwards too, okay? So one thing this guy did is he went back into the jungle. He disappeared, right? He went back into, yes, he still has to do UFC stuff and appearances, things like that, but he was very isolated from it. He insulated himself, okay? So I want you guys to think, are you letting too much into your head that you can't make that, make that comeback, okay? That you're going to let too many things make you feel so bad about it, in such pain that you're just going to actually collapse, right? And you won't be able to stage the comeback. Okay? Or will you be able to focus on what you can do in the moment to bring it back? Okay? Kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? My whole show fell apart because the one system dumped on me, was lagging too much, and so I don't want to put you guys through that. So we restarted here. I appreciate you guys being here. But focus on what you can do in the moment, how you can get better, okay? Jasmine, I see this. Your sister-in-law was born and raised in Rio, and it's a tough life to live there. Let me tell you, yeah. She's been through a lot, but became a great therapist. That's amazing. That's amazing. She probably has so much to offer people by all of her experiences as well, too, okay? All right, and then the next thing I want to talk to you guys about as well is establishing a battle rhythm, because once you know what the change is that you have to make, once you understand what the change is, okay, then you got to think, what change can I make, all right? What change can I make, and how am I going to make it during the week? How am I going to schedule it? How are you going to schedule the change? Because too often I see people, they live in la la land. They act like they're going to be able to create a change. They're going to get things done. But then next thing you know, it's the tyranny of the day. I've talked to some of you about that before, okay? I think, Nick, I talked to you about that. The day rolls in the next day and the next day, and the next thing you know, it's not working, right? The next thing you know, it's a mess. The next thing you know, it didn't work, okay? So the tyranny of the day really, really matters, okay? It makes a huge difference. And you have to be able to own your day, and you have to be able to own your day. You have to be able to schedule and block off the time you need in order to get things done. This is what I call battle rhythm. If you don't have a battle rhythm, like when are you going to work out? Is it scheduled? When are you going to work on the most important thing for the day? Is it first thing in the morning? I hope so. I hope it's early, because if you don't have it scheduled early in the morning, if you don't have things scheduled, when's it going to get done? It's not going to get done. It's just not. You're going to kick the can down the road, keep kicking it. And the next thing you know, you didn't do the most important thing. And another day passes, and another day passes, and another week passes, and then another week passes. And the next thing you know, exactly, I hear you, Nick. The next thing you know, a month has passed, 2 months have passed. The year passes, and you have the same goals again for next year. Now, if you set the goals so big, right? If you set the goals so big that, you just couldn't accomplish them that year, but you made a lot of progress, you grew a lot, that's okay. That's totally okay. But I'm just telling you, again, number one thing, find out what it is you need to change. Find out what you need to clear away. Okay, like Alex Pereira, he got to get rid of the alcoholism. He had to get rid of the alcohol. He is totally sober, no alcohol. Okay, he pledged himself to total training, immersed himself in the training, did whatever it took. Okay, pledged himself to living this kind of like, spiritual lifestyle where he wasn't externally focused or on other people's approvals and things like that, right? He gave himself to his coaching system. He has a great coach, okay? Gave himself to his coaching system to make the changes. All those things, all right? And then communicating clearly as a leader, because no matter what, you still have to communicate clearly what it is that you want. Alex Pereira decided what he wanted. I'm using him as an example because it's a great story. It's honestly a little bit heartbreaking. It's a great story though. And it's very, it's outstanding and uplifting when you see him rising above and staying above. Even when he lost, he didn't fall back into alcohol or anything like that. He went right back on the path and got it done, became the champion again. So you can become the champion of your own life, right? Get clear about what you want, communicate it clearly, just like he did, communicate it with his coach. Then you need to have a good battle rhythm. This is where the rubber meets the road. Scheduling and blocking time, getting things done. How long are you preparing to get the most important things done? Okay? Are you waiting so long to get these most important things done that you just don't do it? Or you're like, okay, it took me 30 minutes to get in the right mood and mindset to start working. Or it took me an hour. I had to go here and I had to go there. I had to pitter patter around the house. And I had to get my coffee and I had to get my water. And then I had to pet the dog. And then I had to eat something. And then I had to do this. And then I had to arrange my pens and had to arrange my laptop. And blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, you didn't do anything for a long time. Okay? You didn't do anything for a long time. All right, let me jump in this question real quick. In honor of John Lennon's birthday, happy birthday, John Lennon. What is your favorite John Lennon song? No Beatles, solo. By the way, I love asking questions that have nothing to do with what we're talking about. And I will not answer because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I guess Imagine, right? That's his song. Cool song. Okay. Next. Okay. Imagine. Yeah. Jasmine, you said it too. That is mine. Very cool. Watching the Wheels. Never heard of that. Okay, Jasmine, how does one learn better self-motivation? I struggle with this when it comes to physical fitness and training. I hear you. So I think the biggest thing I would say right here is that you've got to understand what your motivation is. What is the deeper purpose behind it all? Okay? Why do you want what you want? Very, very important. Okay? Why do you want what you want? What are you trying to actually, what are you trying to actually get done? And why do you want it? The deeper reasons why will be your motivation. Okay? So let me ask you, why? Oh, that's great. So, well, there it is. You were sick of being a shithead. That's it. So here's the thing. When this becomes a must for you and you get absolutely sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you get sick and tired of this, of not being in the physical condition you want to be in, then you're going to take action. And then also, on top of that, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you're just naturally you're in a place where you're doing fine, right? But then you have to have something that you're motivated by and something you're excited about, like building a new vision. Who do you want to become? Is there a physique you want to achieve? Is there a certain health issue you want to overcome? Do you want to, plan for longevity? What is the great motivation? Do you want to be able to, be mobile and moving because you see, older family members being immobile or being in pain, and you just know that you've got to do something about it. And you've got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. That's a very real thing too. Okay. So that could definitely be it. That could definitely be it too. All right. So consider that. Consider that as well. What is your deeper reason why? Right? Okay. Mark. Hey, I'm Machine. How you doing? Mark, I got you. Ben, what's your opinion in servant leadership? That seems to be the flavor of the day. Yeah, I think servant leadership is very, very important. I think you have to be a servant leader. You have to. I remember Admiral McCraven telling me, when I went through his commander's course, but we talked about, he talked about being an action officer for the team. So this is truly where you're serving the mission, you're serving the people, because as I've always been told, you take care of the people on the team, they're going to take care of the mission. Okay. And that's something I lived by as well too. You take care of your people, they're going to take care of the mission. Point, period, paragraph. Now, there are going to be some times that you are being a servant leader to the mission. And that may be uncomfortable and that may be painful for some people. But sometimes you got to do the things you know are right to serve the men and the mission, or the people and the mission. Okay. So that's also a part of servant leadership, is being a servant, right? Hey, thanks, Tim. But being a servant leader to the mission is absolutely critical. You got to make sure you got to make sure that you're a servant, not just only as a popularity contest, because some people will act like, well, I've got to be a servant to the people on the team, right? To the men, because if I'm not, you start getting influenced by popularity and by, I start getting attaboys and people like it when I'm a servant, I'm an action officer. Make no mistake, you have to serve the mission that you all serve, right? So a lot of the times that means serving the people and taking care of them, especially in the civilian world or military or, law enforcement, doesn't matter, wherever it is. You hire the right people, you train them right, you set the right standards, the right culture, and then you go ahead and you let them run. And you got to take care of them. You got to set the conditions for success for them. Because if you don't set the conditions for success, nothing's going to happen. And then you're inducing, as a leader, you're putting friction in the way. But when it's about you, it can't be about the mission. And it can't be about the team. Okay? We start getting into, intentions matter as a leader. Intentionality matters. What are your damn intentions? Are you doing this for self-gain? We see some of this playing out in some very big places, right? A lot of questions. What's the overall intention? What are we really doing this for? Okay? And then, as well, sometimes hard decisions are made that half the people don't like, or maybe all the people don't like, but it's the right thing to do. Like for example, okay, guess what? We all have to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow because, that's the only way we're going to get this done. Oh, come on. No, we don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. 6 a.m. Or actually have to show up at work at 4 a.m. No, 6 a.m. Oh, we can do it at 6 a.m. But you know better. And if you know better, you know better. And you're like, 6 a.m. is not going to freaking work. So it's 4 a.m. That's it. As an example, okay? And, the other thing is this, right? Like I'm going to say, I don't like these tariffs. Okay, part of this segment tonight we're going to talk about the economy as I get off my soapbox. But I'm going to give you guys strategy first, and I'm going to storytell. Okay, but so the thing is this, right? I don't like these tariffs personally, but what do I know? I'm not some friggin' economist. Honestly, I know some stuff. I don't know what the Treasury Secretary knows. I don't know what a lot of these people know, but I do know it's painful for us. We're feeling near-term pain. Okay. Is this popular? No. For anyone? No. I think you can ask both sides of the aisle. Nobody likes it. But guess what? When someone knows, and you're the leader, like the president, he knows he's got to do it, and his Secretary of Treasury says we got to do it because we believe this is the right thing to do, then you got to do it. You got to do it. And nobody likes it, right? I'm just saying that. So I look at that, and I have heard one thing I've heard, and again, politically independent, like, okay, I tell it like it is. I think the tariffs suck because I think it's, not fun for us right now at all, right? It's very hard. It's causing more pain, more friction. But I'm basing it off of an analysis done by Raoul Paul, the macro crypto investor, okay, who I've brought to you guys before on here. All right, I played some of his videos, who said that, yes, it's painful now, but within about a year, they're going to have a surplus there from doing it. It's actually going to serve them. Okay, this is a British guy, has no dog in the fight. This was his independent analysis. So I look at it and I say, okay, this is some real pain, but this is an independent analysis of someone I listen to and I believe in, okay, from his Bitcoin analysis, his crypto analysis, his macroeconomic analysis. And he says, it's tough and it sucks, but it makes sense, okay? So sometimes as a leader, when you serve the mission, it's not always fun. And sometimes taking care of your people and being a servant leader to people isn't always fun. I'll never forget when one of my commanders sent me this really hard training course, okay? Right before combat. I just come from combat. And I'm going to tell you guys, I came off a combat tour. I came home for 30 days, and I went into about 8 months of training. About 9 months of training, went back to combat again, okay? So I was gone for, I don't know, it was like 29 months, basically with a couple 30-day breaks here and there, okay? Pretty intense, pretty tough stuff. Not fun for anybody, right? Kind of fun for me, I guess. You know, hard work, hard stuff, but I was definitely fulfilling what I believe was my mission I had to do, okay? So, but I remember him looking at me and saying, I got to send you because it's the right thing to do, and we need you to have these skills and these abilities, and so you got to go. And I know it's a horrible time. I know I'm taking you away from your family again, and you're just coming off a combat tour, but you got to go. So away I went, right, again. And so it was another training segment. But I really thought about it later. I reflected on it later, and I had total faith. I listened to him, but it was painful and it was hard and stressful and all those things like that. But I thought about it later, and it helped me to grow and to become stronger because of it. Okay, so sometimes serving people the best is making very hard, uncomfortable decisions. All right. And again, like I said, I'm not over here, with my tariff thing. I hate the tariffs. Okay. Of course. Right. Nobody wants near-term pain, but I'm not in charge, and I'm Joe Snuffy like everybody else in the economy trying to make things happen. So, but some of the videos I was going to play for you guys. Okay. Talking about the economy right now. I was going to talk to you about, not Michael Smerconish, but what's his name? The other guy. Oh gosh, let me see. What is his name? No, not Butters from South Park. Jim Cramer. Okay, so Cramer was talking about one of the things I had here. Cramer was talking about how there are three different economies. Okay, and so there's the economy with AI and all the stuff like that we're seeing. Then there's a second economy, and that's doing really well. It's actually really frothy. And even Jeff Bezos says that we're in a bubble right now. There's a bubble, okay, with this economy, the first economy, the AI economy. Not Bitcoin, not crypto, but AI. The valuations for a lot of these companies are well beyond what their economic fundamentals are, okay? Cramer said the same thing. Number two, there's the regular economy. And he said, unfortunately, in the regular economy, okay, things aren't going so well. All right, this is Cramer. Okay, and a few other things I've seen as well too. Housing's down, even with interest rates dropping lower. Okay, retail sales are down. Overall mood and sentiment is down. Jobs are lower. Okay, as far as hiring, things like that. This is from Cramer, and I'm not naming everything because I'm not Superman on this stuff. Hey, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. But he's saying it's bad, okay? So the reason why we're getting fooled, though, with the Dow up and the NASDAQ up, and we're still having a rah-rah moments because AI effect is making it's papering over things, okay? He's saying there's like a dot-com boom bust like effect about to happen. And then, and it's just so it's just, we have to watch ourselves. So according to him, that's, the economic fundamentals are not good right now. Okay. It's definitely not, it's just not good. So, and then he talks about the third economy is the speculative economy. Okay. And he's saying a lot of people are going off the rails and they are speculating like crazy. And that's a whole other ballgame. I'm not going to go in. I'll play this for you guys another time. But again, just understanding that where I'm coming from with this, okay? So we are feeling this pain, but sometimes as a leader, you got to make hard decisions that you think are right, all right? And I'm not judging either way right now. I don't like them. And again, I tend to agree with, that they're with people that are not happy about them, okay? But again, when you're the person in the seat driving, when you're the person in the seat driving, you got to make calls, you got to make decisions. And that's it. But again, I will tell you one benefit of all of it. I talked to you guys about Bitcoin a lot, but that's another segment I want to talk a little bit about. Right now, that's my dog going crazy over there. Right now, what we've seen is Bitcoin jump up about to all-time highs, okay? 126,000, 125,000. It's gone up 16, 17,000, okay? So we've seen this 16, 17,000 in a week. Since I told you guys last time, I put out a post, please get into Bitcoin, take a look at it, all right? It's gone up, but here's why. Okay, here's why. Bitcoin's going up because there's fear from the government shutdown. There's fear and uncertainty in the environment. Institutional investors are finding a shelter in Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin is the internet of finance. So you're witnessing the building of the internet, though, for finance and money, okay, guys? So if you're on here with me, I hope you're taking away something about Bitcoin, okay? And you're at least entertaining and learning more and thinking about getting involved with Bitcoin or Ethereum. There are a couple others too, but really those are the two that I track because I think Bitcoin has the lowest chance of falling off the map, okay? Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet with all risk and things like that because who's to say that AI doesn't just build its own damn blockchain? That is possible. It is possible. It's been thought about, but I don't think so. I don't think so for a lot of smarter people than me that have explained it, okay? So, but I will tell you that, as you have shaky times happening, institutions like BlackRock, JP Morgan, MicroStrategy, you name it, Circle, God, there's a huge new fund that just opened in Japan that just bought a ton of stuff as well too, a ton of Bitcoin. They're all flooding in. They're only going to be 21 million Bitcoins created, okay? On the blockchain. 21. And what they say is in 21 years, they're 21 million. In 21 years, it's going to be worth 21 million. This is the 21, 21, 21 thing that they say, okay? Who knows? But I will tell you, they still are holding strong with saying that Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million in a conservative look at 1 million in 5 years. Okay, so by 2031, basically, it will be at $1 million. Many, is that appropriate? Yeah, I'd say many. Many analysts are thinking it'll go to 1.5 million. Okay, just as an example. So think about it. Okay, so think about it. I would dollar cost average your Bitcoin. I would not wait. I wouldn't wait on it. Okay, I wouldn't wait on it. If you can get involved, get involved. Because I'm telling you what they're saying is that the days of the big massive drops of Bitcoin dropping 70%, and then buy back in low, sell it high, take some profits, buy back in low. They're saying that those days are over. Okay? And this isn't me. This is all of the people who really, are involved institutionally. And here's why. Government adoption, institutional investment, and government adoption. These are the two reasons why. Governments are having Bitcoin reserves. Okay? Institutions are more and more finding a safe harbor in Bitcoin. Okay? So when it drops a little bit, they're buying it. When it comes for sale, when the small investors exit because they get euphoric and they want to take profits, or they get nervous and they want to get out, or they bought on option and the option gets called, okay, and they have to sell and they're losing money, the institutions are snapping it right up. Remember, this isn't gold. You can't go dig more. They're 21 million. That's it. Okay? Some of them are lost forever. Some of the Bitcoin are lost forever. Like when someone pulled a million coins or 10,000 coins into cold storage and they lost them. I've heard all kinds of stories like this. Or someone bought 40,000 Bitcoins for a pizza, 10,000 Bitcoins for a pizza back in 2011, right? All these stupid stories, and then who knows where it went after that. So some of them are lost forever. So we don't know if we'll ever be able to account for all 21 million. All right, I'll stop with the Bitcoin there, but just understand that the connections and correlations between the real economy, like, Jim Cramer's talking about, versus the AI froth economy that we're seeing. We're like, well, things must be good because the Dow is up, the NASDAQ's up. Things must be good. It's the AI effect. Jeff Bezos said it himself. Look it up, okay? He said there's a huge AI bubble right now. He said we will have massive benefits from AI, but right now the economic benefit we're seeing is really a bubble, okay? Because they're going to be winners and losers, and it's going to come soon, all right? They're not all going to stay there. And then, again, who benefits from the trouble is Bitcoin. Because why? I told you guys last week, it cannot be manipulated. It can't be inflated. It can't be stolen. Okay, well, it can be stolen if you're, certain ways. But it's hard. It can't be inflated. It can't be manipulated. It can't be used as a device to coerce another country. Arguable that if they devalue the dollar through using stable coins and things like that, there's a whole other argument that they could devalue the trillions of dollars of debt that the U.S. Has with other countries in the world, and that some people argue that's what the U.S. is doing. But a whole other discussion. I don't want to too long go on this because you guys didn't come here for a total Bitcoin discussion. But please, please, please keep your eyes on it, okay? Please keep your eyes on it. All right, awesome. Okay, I'm so glad. Yeah, she's over here. Lucky, come here. Lucky. She's in the other room. She's flopped. She's a big 100-pound sheepadoodle. She's on my Instagram. You guys can see her on there. But she is awesome. I figured out what's happening with this thing. So because I went to 4K, there's a delay when I use the other system. It doesn't run 4K. It records in it but won't go live. So coming back to the other system I had to use, that's what happened. I'll figure it out. Okay. Okay. Hey, thanks, Jill. I appreciate it. So going and then keep on moving here. Okay. So we talked about the economy. We talked about a little bit about strategy. I got a couple more strategy points for you guys. Okay. And then I'm going to pretend to be Butters and Cartman. I'm going to pretend to be Randy, and I'll put on a South Park skit. No. The next thing is this. Okay. So number one, right? We got to know what we want. We got to get clear about it. What's holding us back? Look at the bottlenecks. What's the choke point? What's holding you back? A lot of the times we do get clear about what we want, but we aren't being seriously honest about what is actually holding us back. Okay? We're not being totally honest with ourselves. What's actually holding us back? You got to take a look at it. Okay? And so I think understanding, first of all, what we want, what's holding us back from getting it. Okay? Being really honest. What are the habits we have? Are we don't have the skills, don't have the abilities, don't have the motivation. We're not time management. Time management is a real thing. It's the tyranny of the day. We don't get things done. We don't have a battle rhythm. We aren't scheduled. We're not disciplined. We don't sacrifice enough. There's no success without sacrifice. Okay? There's no... Yeah, I hear you. I'm a machine. I thought so too, right? I know. 41K was a lot. And now look at it now, right? And remember, guys, you only need 0.1 Bitcoin, okay? I think Bitcoin is great. I think it's great. It's I played it a lot for you guys, but and I'll play it more. I'll put more, okay? And actually, and you guys let me know too, if you want me to recock tonight into tomorrow, I'll play all the stuff I have. I'll actually put it in the chat. What do you guys think if I redo this live, I can do it tomorrow night? I got nothing going on. I'm up for it if you guys are up for it. Why not? And because tonight's just ad hoc, but I can actually go through all the stuff that I want to talk about. So let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Could you guys show up for tomorrow night? If I go live tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, let me know. Tell me. Okay. Yeah, that's a great one too, Jill. That's a really great one. I like that too. Words matter. Perspective matters, the way you see it, right? Sometimes it's not as much holding you back as though, yeah, like a personal glass ceiling. And it could be a fear. It could be a skill. It could be taking a chance. It could be just because you think you can't. It could be a perceived limitation. We talk about this, right? You have to shatter your perceived limitations, your limiting beliefs. That's what it comes down to. What is a limiting belief? But I love that too. The personal glass ceiling, your holdback, right? What is a choke point for you? What's a bottleneck? because everyone sees it differently depending on where you stand and what your life is like and what your experience is, what your lens is. That matters. So awesome. Let's do it. Even if it's just you and me, Becky, we'll get crazy. We'll do it. Because, I want to deliver, guys. I want this to be friggin' awesome. And yes, I know it's pretty awesome right now. Let's be honest. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that cocky. But I had a whole damn show, and I don't want to be technology defeated. And the only way to get better is to do it and get better. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys being on the journey with me. Okay, so this is it, right? We get clear and focused on what we want. We know what our holdbacks are, right? We know what our limiting beliefs are. Sometimes it's just a belief. Maybe it's not a holdback. Maybe you don't have any problems at all. You just haven't ever done it. You don't know what you don't know. You haven't seen enough. Sometimes you see someone else doing something, you're like, damn, I could do that. Or can I do that? And if you have that question, can I do that? You go on a lifelong journey or a journey of a month to figure out if you can. Next thing you know, you're someone else. You're even better. You grow. Okay? You have your battle rhythm. You schedule in the times to do it. You schedule in times to get better. I just scheduled in time for tomorrow. I'm going to effing do it, right? I'm going to do it. Do it tomorrow night. And I'm going to get better. Just scheduled it in. Okay? See you, Joe. Thanks. And so, yes. Very true. Tim's got a good point. Tim has got a good point. I'm Bitcoin bull. I'm Bitcoin bull all the way. And I believe in me some Bitcoin. I don't go into the smaller ones. I've done Ethereum, I've done Solana, I've done XRP, but I will tell you I'm a Bitcoin investor and I am in on Bitcoin. That's what I do. I don't hold any others right now, okay? For whatever anyone wants to think about that. Because honestly, I like, if you can call crypto stable, Bitcoin has a lot upside. It's up 96%. No, it's up 100%. 100% from last year. I think officially as it crossed the threshold, maybe right now it's 96%. But the volatility isn't as bad as some of the smaller coins, right? They're all kind of moving with Bitcoin. But Tim is damn right about that. AI could change a lot of things. A lot of things could change. But I'll either let you know, I'm either going to be rocking and rolling in 5 years or I'm going to be, under the bridge in LA somewhere in a tent and broadcasting from there. Either way, it'll be a great ride and I'll love it. And you'll love it too. Okay? Because it'll be a great story. Let's go. So next, we got our battle rhythm. Next, you need a friggin' planning process. You got to have it. Okay? And like I always say, if you don't have a coach, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have a community, I got one for you. Join my Ferocious Optimist coaching community. Join my membership. Great community people, fantastic people, the best people, okay? I feel so privileged to have the members in the community that I have. Very lucky. You can be lucky too, okay? It's $87.99. It is friggin' awesome, and it's only going to get better. It's only getting better and better and better, okay? So we have some members in here tonight in the live with us, all right? And we go live, group coaching session every month. On the third Friday or Saturday of every month. It goes for about an hour and 15 minutes of coaching, teaching, and then we do Q&A for about 45 minutes, okay? But it's cool because it's on a private Zoom call, so we can all see each other, we can hear each other. If you don't want to turn your camera on, don't worry about it. We can still hear each other, though. We can talk. So it's really cool, really interactive. And then people ask questions, and I coach them, and we upload all of it into the members area where you can replay it as many times as you want. I upload the presentations I use as well too, so you can replay that as many times as you want, okay? So super cool, super exciting. Honestly, it's freaking great. I love it. And, people get a lot out of it. And, I'd love to see you in there. So if you don't have a community, if you don't have a coach, a mentor, a guiding force, then let me be that for you and let the membership, the other members as well too. We got a lot of smart people in there, man. We got business owners, we got entrepreneurs, life experience, career people, government, former special operators, you name it, okay? A lot of cool cats in there, artists, writers, okay? All kinds of people. So super cool. Teachers. And you get the benefit of that kind of mastermind effect as well too. And then obviously I'm going to coach you through the Q&A in the community, so on and so forth. Okay. It's super, super cool. Love to have you guys there. So yeah. Oh yeah. And And so you got to have a planning process, okay? You need to have a planning process, and then you got to attack these bottlenecks. Wherever your bottlenecks are, let's use the term bottlenecks for right now. Holdbacks we talked about, we got to attack those. Jill brought up glass ceiling, okay? Can be a glass ceiling, okay? I call them a limiting belief. It can be a limiting belief. Again, everyone's situation is different, right? Me is who I am. A limiting belief can hold me back. Maybe shame, fear of criticism, not thinking I'm good enough, not believing in myself, all those things like that, right, can hold me back. Not having a certain skill set I need, not getting the right coaching, not paying the money to get a course or a certification done, not attending a seminar that I should attend, not sitting in a live I should sit in, okay, to learn from somebody. Someone who has more experience, someone who's better, okay, things like that. So because you become who you hang around, but you need to understand to attack the bottlenecks. If you're in business, for example, a bottleneck is mapping your leads that lead to conversations. The conversations lead to offers. The offers lead to sales, okay, which lead to your delivery, which leads to proof, social proof, which leads to another. It's a virtuous cycle, virtuous circle that creates more belief in the system, more leads. It repeats all over again, and you get a deeper, more powerful effect, okay? So, yeah, so I mean, I think, I think that's something very important to understand. You know, it's very important to understand that your leads, okay, and that the bottlenecks for your leads are going to affect you in a business. And it's the same thing in your personal life. Whatever holdbacks you have, bottlenecks you have, limiting beliefs you have, you got to shatter them. You got to open up that bottleneck, right? Take a look at your personal workflow. Where in your personal workflow right now, okay? Where in your personal workflow right now do you have a bottleneck? Are you held back? Where is it? You got to understand that, okay? Because you got to look at what the worst drop-off point is. Where do you know in your day you lose your energy? Where do you lose your focus? Where do you lose clients, customers, people like that, okay? All the stuff like that. And if you're in business, 100% if you're in business, you got to look at your lead flow. Because it's one of two things. It's a problem of supply problem or a delivery problem. You don't have the staff or the ability to meet the demand that you currently have. You don't have enough hours in the day or enough staff to deliver. Or you don't have enough leads, okay? Or your conversion. You have a lot of leads, but you don't convert, okay? These are very real things, and I work with people on stuff like that, okay? So, hell yeah, dude, you're going to get it. Not 0.01, 0.1. 0.01 is good. 0.01 is good. But 0.1, Tim, we need 0.1. Hell yeah, Jasmine. Remember that, though, guys. There's really two things. It's either a supply problem, like you don't have enough of you or your business or your product or your service to fulfill the need and the demand, or it's a lead problem. Not enough leads, not enough conversions from the leads, therefore not enough clients, not enough members, not enough customers, not enough revenue, okay? And the business dies. So we got to look at those two things. Be very honest with yourself about what this is, okay? Most of the time what I see is it's not enough leads. Other times people get stagnated because they're an army of one. They have one person themselves doing it. Or they have a small staff. They don't want to spend the money to grow. Hiring costs money. It's hard. It's difficult. Building structure, building job descriptions, building a culture, enforcing it. Leadership is hard. Okay, you're no longer the artist operator. You're now you're a no kidding CEO type where you're lead teaching, and motivating the people actually delivering to the clients and customers. Okay, so you got to be clear about what you want and then how you do it, and understand that business system. But look at your personal life. If you're not even in business, what is your personal bottleneck? What is your personal limiting belief? What is your personal holdback? Okay, and all those things matter. Because the only thing with the glass ceiling, the only thing I'll say about that is that it implies that someone put a ceiling over you. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes that is true. But I'm saying just be aware of the metaphors, the differences, right? Holdback. Maybe someone's pulling you back. Bottleneck. Okay, what does that mean? Maybe there's a structure in place. And this is why we use it in business. That's a structural problem. Okay? A limiting belief comes from within. Okay? Like I said, all these different things that the words have meaning. All right, next, discipline. Let's talk about cash discipline. Let's talk about pricing discipline. Okay. You got to look at what your cash flow is right now. Okay. No matter what it is, whether it's from business, from work, what is it? What are the ways you can improve and increase your cash flow? Sometimes that means getting rid of expenses, right? Other times it means using your talents, using your skills, using your time to increase the flow of money, okay? Which will give you some peace of mind, hopefully, and help you out, at least in business and personal finance. Other times, let's look at nutrition and food. Your cash flow, hell yeah, dude. I will tell you in a minute. Your cash flow. Hey, and speaking of which, I saw you guys mention Nate and Valhalla, and I talked about learning from someone who's doing it better, or learning from someone who knows. I've watched Jake. I watched Jay. I've watched Aaron. Again, I got to be a part. I was in the war room, right? We're going to get it back going again, guys. We're taking a little break right now, but we're going to come back. Just so everyone knows. We're trying to decide on a new day, and Jay's getting done with his big coffee company adventure. But I watched Nate a couple times because I'm like, he's killing it, dude. He's killing it. So I want to learn what is his flow on that, right? We can all learn from people we know, or we can learn from people who are ahead of us, right? But if you're always trying to be the big dog and you keep everyone around you less than you, you're not going to learn and grow. That's a recipe for you not growing, okay? So, I think we have to have a little dose of humility too, and realize that, we can all grow, okay? And so I try to learn from my friends as well too, and I try to learn from people who I see out there who I don't even know, who I try to watch, what are they doing? Clearly, I didn't watch enough on this other software system, but all you guys are awesome for being here with me and for not caring and being here. So hopefully you're getting a lot out of this. Maybe you're getting more out of it. I don't know, by me just doing what I do, because this is actually what I do as a coach. So again, talking about cash flow, okay? Going back to this and talking about nutrition flow, calorie flow. What is your calorie flow? Okay? If your calorie income is too high, you're going to have some savings. Where do you think those savings are going to go? The savings, you're going to find them. Your body has a bank account, okay? Oh, really? Okay, thanks. I thought I did see Nate's sound dropped out on him the other day. Hey, at least my camera didn't die this time, right? Remember on Sunday it died? Yeah, that does help. Thanks for telling me. Yeah, they've told me the same thing too. Who the hell am I, right? Do my best. That's it. That's what I always say. Keeps you hungry, keeps you humble, keep you moving. I do have a lot of fun though. I do have a lot of fun with you guys here, and I really appreciate you being here. Let me do what I love, and hopefully I'm serving and delivering a lot of good value to you guys. Yes, Lisa, in the gut. I don't know if you guys know this, but Lisa is like a champion bodybuilder. Unbelievable, honestly. Jasmine, if you're looking for someone to give you some advice and fitness and motivation, talk to Lisa. Like literally unbelievable. Okay. So, cash flow in and out, money, right? This case, we want the money to grow. The other case, calories in and out, we don't want the bank account around our stomach to grow and our body, right? So we gotta manage both things. I find that it's very useful and a related discipline to be good and disciplined in your nutrition will help you to be good and disciplined in other areas of your life because they're complementary, okay? So please listen to me on this. Please listen to me, guys, okay? Listen, quick coaching session, all right? If you, Tim, you got to do it. You were awesome the other day, dude. It was awesome. The flyers you put out are money. These are top level. I was jealous. I need some flyers like that I can throw around here. Damn it. And you're really amazing at what you do. Tim's pretty damn amazing at what he does, guys. Not pretty damn, really amazing as well, too. As, Peak Parent Coaching, he's the, owner of that company. And you can put in the chat a little bit about what you do, Tim. I mean, neurodivergence, working with kids, working with parents, working with family teams, all those things like that. He's amazing. So I'm honored to be able to work with Tim and to have him on board as well. So it's awesome. But hugely impactful. But I mean, but complementary skills, okay, guys? Nutrition is a complementary skill to managing your money because it's very similar disciplines. You got to watch the nutrition. You got to watch your cash flow. Now, what do I want to say to you? I want to see you be smart with your expenses, but I want to see you learn how to earn more. I don't care what it is. Get the damn job, guys. Come on. We have AI. We got technology. I'm talking to myself too, right? Make it happen. Let's do it together. Let's make a plan that we 3x, 4x, all of us, our income for 2026. Why not, right? Let's shoot for it, okay? You got to kill the vanity costs. The vanity costs will kill you. The fancy stuff, right? Anything you're trying to be fancy to show off to people. Just be smart, be smart. Just do away the vanity costs, do away the things that you really don't need. And you'll notice you have more money than you think you do a lot of the times, okay? All right, let me answer a question here. Tim, okay, you get intimidated. Tim, you asked me my limiting beliefs. I would say, just like, being real, I think what happens is that they're not so in my face anymore until it's really something big, and then you feel it like resistance, if that makes sense, okay? So, yeah. I mean, when you feel that resistance, right? When you feel resistance, so a limiting belief can be like that background running software on a computer where all of a sudden, you feel, you just feel resistance. You feel scared. You feel uncertain. You might feel what they call imposter syndrome, right? I'm an imposter. It's just called being nervous, right? I mean, I think the first time I ever did a paid public speaking gig at a national conference for a financial firm, it was in Park City, Utah, amazing resort and big ballroom, couple hundred people. My first time. They're paying me. So it wasn't like one of these things where I'm like, wow, I'm here on my own. And, they're so, and I'm here on my own anyway, and they're not paying me, so who cares, right? This time they're paying me. Reputation's on the line. Everything's on the line, right? And was I limiting belief? I guess because I didn't know what to expect. I just gave it all I got. I want to say I knew I could do it. I showed, I showed up. I showed up. I showed out. I did it. I crushed it. It was good. But was I nervous? Oh, you're damn right. I could lie to you and be like, no. Oh, hell yeah, man. I felt it. I was rehearsing so much. I was, saying all my lines. I mean, I was an actor before as well too, right? Done some acting and stuff. So I knew one way to overcome this is the shit so well that you're in your sleep saying it. So I was. Compared to fast forward to who I am today, right? Like who I am today. After quite a few speaking engagements, a number of paid ones, number of unpaid ones, but just getting used to getting on camera, getting used to here I am, my whole tech thing falls apart, right? Now we're just ad-libbing, right? But I'll never forget it. I was getting on the last talk I gave. They're announcing me, reading my bio. One of the organizers of the event, now there are about 350 people there, okay, live, right? So there's no rewinding, no stopping, no nothing, right? Live in front of people, and I got to be entertaining. Everybody's waiting. And organizer comes up to me, starts talking to me. They're reading my bio, talking about me. I'm like, I look and I smiled. I'm mic'd up, okay? And I was like, she's clueless right now. I'm like, I'm in the wings, about to walk out on stage, right? And she's talking to me. She's like, oh, are you going on right now? I smiled. I said, yeah. But I've reached the point now, okay, where the bullet's loaded in the magazine, right? The slide is back, it's locked, it's ready. I just got to pull the trigger. And I don't even think about it anymore because this is where the self-trust and self-belief comes from. When you do it enough, okay, like Tim doing your videos, when you do it enough, you're not going to worry about it anymore. Will you still get a little nervous? Yeah, of course. Especially if you're not prepared, forget about it, right? But if you prepare like you know you can prepare, then you put it away. I put it away. I'll run one more rehearsal in the morning of. I will do a quote unquote dress rehearsal on the stage with no one there. If I can get in the space ahead of time. If I can't, I can't. But I prefer, to get in the space, get in the theater ahead of time. Sometimes I can't. Many times I've had to just show up and walk up there and do it. But visualization helps for that. And just knowing yourself, knowing what you have to say, knowing what you're trying to communicate. But I'm going to say repetition is the mother of courage. I want to say this. Okay, the better part of courage is having done a thing before. The better part of courage is having done a thing before. Repetition is the mother of skill, which is the mother of courage, in my opinion, okay? And if necessity is the mother of invention, repetition is the mother of skill, which is also the mother of courage, okay? And the better part of courage is having done a thing before. Lots of little quotes right at you. Lots of little things, okay? Yeah, improv is super cool. Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I was an actor, Becky, for sure. And I did improv and all that. I should say I did some improv as part of being an actor. I wouldn't say I was like fantastic at it because I was starting out, but I've done some theater, done some film, stuff like that. But that was an experience. If you guys watch one of my speeches, I talk about it. One of the scariest times of my life. Because I talk about the different types of fear. There are different types of fear. Sometimes it's a fear of death. Sometimes it's a fear of being embarrassed. Sometimes it's a fear of, being embarrassed and being shamed and criticized. That's for real, man. Heart pounding out of your chest type of fear. Being embarrassed, being shamed, being criticized publicly. What? If you're not used to it. Then after you get used to it for a little while, you're like, who cares? Whatever. Okay. I embarrassed myself. Oh no. Right? Who cares? So, oh yeah, for sure. Literally, Jasmine, I was giving a monologue in Hollywood, in the Second Story Theater of Hollywood, in Hollywood, West Hollywood, where I was, in my like acting group, right? And so I was at UCLA before that, and got invited to go in the Second Story Theater, and so I was doing my like acting class and in there, and there were a lot of working actors in there, but I was nervous because I was new to it. I was trying to get good at it. I'd done acting before. But, I felt like this was the deep end of the pool, right? I'd acted up in Northern California, up in Monterey, and in Carmel by the Sea, done a little bit of theater there, stuff like that. And then I had to do this monologue in front of everybody my first day there. And, dude, I was like second or third to go up. My heart was beating out of his chest. So if you watch the video, it's really funny. Look at my speech when I talked to Pepsi. I give the story about it. It's funny. But, yeah, the more you do it, the better you become. That's it. It's just like this stuff, being on here. It's the same thing, right? Yeah, you got to... Oh, this is good, Tim. You're doing a video tomorrow with people more comfy on video. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Tim, for sure. Just keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Because I don't know. I don't put them out there always, but I was in a couple different movies, some theater as well. The better you'll get. That's for sure. From doing video, social media. Well, you got to defeat that for sure. And so again, I go back to ferocious optimism. Okay, as the last point for what you need, ferocious optimism. Okay. You have to control your state, number one. Whether you're acting, whether you're, making a social media post, you're talking on a podcast, you're giving a talk, you're working with clients, and I'll tell you, for a lot of that stuff, for me, that naturally makes me switch on because I can be kind of introverted when I'm working. Like I have no problem working by myself for hours, literally getting hyper-focused and working all day by myself. I have no problem with it. But then I'm split right down the middle because once I start getting extroverted, I can't turn it off. Like I'll be around people, I feed off it, I get energy. I'm a weird cat, I guess, in that way. So for all the stuff like I just talked about with, speaking, working with clients, being on camera, acting, speaking, blah, 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 we're saying I get really energized. Sometimes though, where you need to change your state are in the things, control your state, your emotional state, your power state, are in the things where you don't feel powerful. You don't feel good, right? So like, you're feeling tired. This problem is hard. It's scary, right? You don't know how to build the new web page. Trust me, I've had a lot of that stuff. Working in Kajabi, man, where the coaching membership and community is and all the stuff like that. And a lot of my other platform for my business is in Kajabi. It's taken a long time for me to get good at that. I'm not gonna lie. Some people are naturally good at that stuff. Took me a long time, and finally I powered through. I'm better at it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Putting my store on YouTube I ran into him there, Becky. I ran into Clint Eastwood in Carmel by the Sea. I did some theater in the Forest Theater in Carmel. Super cool, beautiful location, beautiful place to do some acting too. Super cool. But yeah, I mean, I'll just say, like, if you're not good at something and if it's hard and it gets frustrating, you want to quit. That's when you have to control your emotional state. Okay. It's not always when you're around people that's the thing that's exciting and passionate for you, but sometimes when you're getting good at something, I know we always talk about staying in your passion, staying in your flow state as much as you can. If you're an entrepreneur, be an entrepreneur and follow your passion and hire everybody else. Okay, that's great. But what if you don't have the funds to hire everybody else right now? Well, borrow them, they say. Really? Then you got to pay it back. Okay, real talk here. Sometimes you're going to have to do some shit that you don't want to do, and that's really hard. Sometimes you got to do it, and you got to just make it happen. So that's it. Exactly, Nick. Exactly. It is nonstop, okay? Yep. Oh, Tim, you're going to crush it, man. Of course you're going to crush it. But yeah, Nick, that's exactly it. You got to understand that you've got to get good at things that you don't want to do, like writing policy documents. Ooh, fun, right? Building a web page. I can't wait. Wow, thank you. Okay, but I turned it into a personal game for myself. Can I do this? I want to prove to myself that I can do this. I want to prove to myself I have the mental strength and discipline, and I have the endurance to do this. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, putting my store on YouTube. Unless you've done that before yourself, you don't understand. Okay, first of all, having products. Phase 1, you got to design the products, and you gotta create them, and then you gotta, you're moving every little design. Luckily, I had a lot of designs built before, just because in my posts I put on Instagram, I put designs, I put a certain font, all these things like that. So I used a lot of elements of my design to put in my apparel and my merchandise. Then I had to create a Shopify account. I had to create a Printify account. I had to make sure it was all compliant. And then I had to try to start, I'm starting to advertise it. Then to get it onto YouTube was a whole other ball game. Okay, because first of all, you got to be a YouTube partner. Next of all, you got to meet all the Google standards. You got to get through Google AdSense. And don't you know, I posted the whole damn thing on YouTube. And then all of a sudden, Google kicked it all off. It was like 2 days ago. I honestly I felt like punched in the face and in the gut because it took me so long to do this. And I'm not good at this stuff. I know this is a limiting belief, me saying that I'm not good at this stuff, but I'm not. Okay. You know what you're good at. And I got good at it, but I don't like it. It's not like my natural thing to, tinker around with websites and to find the one piece of code that's missing and there it is. Find that detail. I'm not, I've had to learn that stuff. It's hard. Okay. It's super hard for me. And I've gotten better to now where I've gotten really good at a lot of things. And I'm going to tell you something else. Another thing. Okay. You guys aren't going anywhere. We're staying until friggin' midnight tonight. We're going to keep talking. Just kidding. But another thing, before you quit anything, get good at it. Okay. Get better at it. Get good enough that you conquer the thing that you don't like. Because then all of a sudden you might like it. Like now I know how to build web pages. I know how to use Kajabi. I know how to build, whether it's a landing page, it's a website, it's a sales page, it's an offer. I know how to build a store online, add it through Google, add it through Printify, Shopify, add it through all these different things, have it go up on a web page. I know how to link. I know how to actually put the friggin' merchandise into my videos through timestamps. It pops up in the corner. I haven't done it yet, but that's coming soon to a theater near you. So this is what I'm saying. please, 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 please get good at it first before you quit. Don't get defeated and be like, you get in this malaise, like, oh, I can't do it. It's so hard. Screw this. I'm quitting. Okay? I've had weeks like that where I'm like, I'm sick of this. I don't like this anymore. I don't even know if I like this. I don't even know if I'm good at it. I'm done. I'm over. I'm quitting. Okay? I don't know if I've ever said I'm quitting. I've said I don't know if I want to do this before. I've said that. Okay? I don't know if I want to do this anymore. That's what I want to say. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Okay? Because sometimes you find something so hard, it gets so frustrating, but you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and you will figure it out. Okay? If you're willing to do whatever it takes for as much time as it takes, and you're willing to try and fail, reassess, learn, grow, try, fail, reassess, learn, try, fail, reassess, learn, until all of a sudden you try and you succeed and you don't fail. And it met the mark. Maybe it wasn't the best, but it worked. Okay? You're going to find that you can. Okay? And you're going to find then that maybe you don't want to quit anymore. Maybe you don't want to stop because you're like, I'm pretty good at this now. And when you're pretty good at something, it's kind of cool. And you can teach other people. Okay? So, guys, you have any other questions, put them in here. Otherwise, it's time for me to pretend that I'm Cartman. I'm just kidding. We're going to recock this thing tomorrow night. We're going to do it again. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? I think that's, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to kick it off. One more time. Same thing. Why not? I got nothing going on Friday night. And you know what? Like I said, try, fail, learn, assess, analyze, grow, learn, get better, try again. That's exactly. I'm going to live my freaking thesis, and we're going to do it tomorrow, okay? That's ferocious optimism, baby. Ain't no quitting, ain't no stepping back, ain't no, oh, sorry. And going to make it happen. Going to make it happen, dudes. That's going to happen. So be here or be square, or don't be here or be somewhere else, but I will be here. and hopefully you all can make it. And it should be fun, though. I will re-advertise everything. It'll pretty much be the same show, except you'll have the videos and you'll have a bunch of other stuff, and I'll see, maybe we'll have some updates. Maybe it'll be some more fun stuff. And put it in the chat. Anything you guys want me to cover tomorrow? Put it in there. Okay? And you tell Nate, 11,000 schm11,000. I got 11 in here. What does he know? He doesn't know anything. I chat with Nate sometimes. I'm like, holy crap, dude. You have like 11,000 people in your live. That's insane. Super proud of him. That's awesome, man. Super awesome. The homies are killing it. All right, guys. If you don't have any other questions, I'm going to jump off here. We're going to recock the real deal for tomorrow night. I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully, you got a lot out of this. That's it. Doing shit you don't want to do. But any last minute questions, please throw them in the chat. I'll hang out for a minute. I'll just hang out for a couple seconds, and I will answer your questions. My doggy's out there walking around. Nate's gonna come on here eventually. So is Jake. We're gonna have him on here. I got to do some interviews as well too. That's coming soon. Some interviews as well, things like that. But I kind of got to figure out the tech before I start bringing people here. You'd pay to see me tinkering. It's so bad, Jasmine. You don't understand. To put the damn merchandise in the YouTube, because you know how you guys open up my YouTube now. Check it out. All right, just do it for me. Do it for me right now. Look on your phone. Look at it. And look how I don't know if it goes to Canada, though. It's the only thing. I don't know if it goes outside the U.S. Look how my sweatshirts, my shirts, my mug, it all comes up. You know how proud I am? I don't care if anybody buys anything. I'm just super proud it comes up like that. I tell my sons, I'm like, look at me. Look how badass. They're like, Dad, it's so cool. Good job. And then when they took it away from me, when Google took it away, I was like, friggin' fascists. I was like, it's bullshit. Because everyone's saying fascist today. So I thought I'd say it too. You bastards, you killed Kenny. That's what they did. Jasmine, it's tough. Tinkering is not easy, but I've become better at it. I think it's because I have ability. I really do have an ability to focus for hours. And it made me think, Tim, maybe I got a little something. Maybe I got a little something too. Maybe I got nicked by a little something. because all of a sudden I was working until 3 a.m. I don't advise this. Nick, we talked about this. I don't advise this at all. But maybe I took the Tylenol. I don't know. Maybe it gave me a little something. But it was like a superpower. I worked from 10:30 until 3 a.m. and I basically didn't get up. And I didn't even care. And I finished putting the stuff on YouTube. And I was like, damn, I did it, dude. I did it. So, yes. Yes, Lisa, you saw it. I'm so proud of that. Racerback tees are coming, by the way. Workout gear is coming. Google still has my journal in, I don't know. Google still has my journal in lockdown. It's so funny. I don't know why. I'm like, I have a journal. Can I put it out there? Like, no, this doesn't meet our community standards. Oh, and the reason why they kicked me off, they said, you're misrepresenting yourself. And I'm like, well, who is this? It was like an AI judgment of all my products. Like, I don't know what they thought. I was like some Hell's Angel motorcycle gang. I mean, I don't know what they thought was like going on there, but it's really funny. So, dude, I'm telling you, I agree with you. I agree with you, brother. But like, I honestly wish I was smarter. Sometimes I wish I worked smarter. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's a holdback for me. Is I get bore focused, hyper focused on things, and I just go and I stay on it forever until it's done. But for sure, 100%, the real answer is hire someone who's better at it, free me up for what I'm really good at. Okay. But I do believe in business. Sometimes you really got to know, what's going on yourself. Otherwise you are held hostage by contractors, right, Nick? Right, Tim? Okay. My entrepreneurs out there, you guys know you're held hostage. You will be there, Jasmine. There's no sorry. You will be there on Friday. Thank you. I'm just kidding. I know you can't. You got big stuff going on. You tell Nate I said what's going on. You tell him I said what's going on. I always do. I usually give him a little shout out when I see he's like breaking the internet. It's pretty cool. Anyway, everybody, great being here with you. I appreciate it. Super fun. Thanks for sticking with me. We're going to have some fun tomorrow night, though. Yes, tomorrow night, South Park for sure, Jasmine. Tomorrow night, South Park. I know you told me you said this is a, what do you call it? A Canada joke, right? Tomorrow, South Park for sure. Today was supposed to be. Make no mistake. And for everybody who's listening on the podcast, later when I upload this to the podcast, of course there's going to be some heavy editing. But understand, normally, if you've been listening to the Thursday show, there's like all kinds of craziness happening. Instead, you got me just yakking at you the whole time, which is, I guess, fun as well, too. But, all right, we're going to rock and roll. All right, I'll see you guys. Take care. Great to have you here. Like I always say, make yourselves better, make the world better. Have an amazing, amazing freaking weekend. I will see you Friday night, 8 p.m. I'll see you tomorrow night, okay? We're going to recock this thing. We're going to make it happen. And like I always say, go get yours. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you. Go get yours. Let's go. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you soon. Take care.